The skateboarding community has a broad structure that spans across many different mediums and purposes. The mediums include online forums, YouTube, websites, simulations, 3D models, books, video games, skate parks, skating groups, and skate shops. One of the main purposes of these mediums is the need to learn tricks. Learning tricks can be tough for beginners new to the community. They usually require a steep learning curve, lots of patience, humiliation, and the risk of injury. Along with that, the source used to learn the trick must be credible and taught by somebody with experience. This is where the rhetorical device ethos comes into play. It helps verify whether or not the creator is good at teaching or not. I have very little experience as a skater, but I decided to dig deeper into how people learn tricks so I can try to learn a new skill or even develop a new hobby.
The online portion of the skating community spans across many different websites. The first website I'll be looking into is YouTube. YouTube seems to be a popular choice for any skater who wants to learn tricks from beginner to advanced. There are thousands of creators who teach tricks, with the most popular being Braille Skateboarding, who breaks down the trick from each of the tiny motions required for the trick, all the way to putting the whole thing together, including tips and tricks along the way. The production of his videos are very high quality, and he has years upon years of professional skating experience that add to his credibility as a creator. The next part of the community we'll be going over is online forums like Reddit and Quora, where people ask questions about tricks and they give feedback. For example, I found a post where a Redditor learned how to ollie and asked what other tricks he could learn, and the commenters listed some tricks he could try, as well as YouTubers that are good at teaching these tricks. It's difficult to discern credibility on forums, but the posts with the most research and experience behind them seem to get the most support by other community members. There are also general websites that teach you how to land tricks or at least list different tricks. This gives you more of a variety than a YouTube video because they can list more tricks at once. They are usually skating websites or action sport organizations like Red Bull. With many recent advances in technology, tricks can also be learned through 3D models, simulations, animations, and virtual reality. I think these methods have the most credibility because they rely on science rather than the experience of others. Most skaters will choose a combination of these methods, and each source has advantages and disadvantages to different people. For example, some skaters may combine learning tricks on YouTube and learning tricks through friends. Since the in-person aspect of the community is hard to measure and observe, I decided to head to the skate park myself and ask real skaters how they prefer to learn tricks. The skate park is essential to the skating community because it provides a central location where skaters of any skill level can communicate, learn tricks, and display their skills. This is where most of the in-person aspect of the community takes place because it offers many different ways to skate with so many park features. Beginners can learn from more experienced skaters and get inspiration from them. The more experienced skaters can get ideas for new tricks from other skaters as well. Let's talk to some skaters and see how they prefer to learn tricks.
Alright, so what's your guys' names and how long have you guys been skating for?
My name is Aiden. I've been skating for about 2 years.
My name's Jackson, like a couple years on and off.
What was the method that you used when you first started learning tricks? Like, where would you go to learn tricks? Specifically, like on the internet and stuff like that, like where would you go to like actually learn the tricks? Like who would you learn them from or where would you learn them from?
So I actually, when I first started, I was watching a lot of Braille Skateboarding. It's a YouTube channel. They have a bunch of videos about learning like a lot of beginner tricks, and they're nice about it.
Definitely just YouTube. You can find everything on there. It's like, I don't know, it helps you learn a lot.
So I guess that kind of answers this question. Like, do you guys prefer online or in-person learning for tricks? Like learning from somebody else or like learning online?
I feel like it's actually a lot easier in person because you can see exactly what they're doing and how they're shifting their weight. So I don't know. I could pick up off of them.
Also, if you ask questions, they can just directly answer it.
And then do you care whether or not the person like teaching you is like experienced or not? Like versus if they had like 1 year of experience versus like 8?
I mean, when you're being taught by someone who's like a lot more experienced, it's kind of intimidating, not gonna lie. It makes you feel like you're just like really bad. But someone with like at least some experience, like a couple years, it's really helpful because they could give you some really important tips.
And they're just better at teaching than someone who's not been doing it for that long. Right. But like, yeah, I don't know, they just know how to do better.
And then what's your best advice for a beginner who wants to learn tricks?
It's all about commitment. It's scary, but the longer you sit there and think about it, it's just gonna get scarier. You just have to go for it. You gotta have the confidence.
Yeah, definitely just commitment, and also you think that people are judging you when they're actually not at all, because everyone has been at that starting phase.
Very true.
Yeah, everyone has been there, and no one's gonna judge you for anything.
From what I gathered from the interviews, I can conclude that skaters primarily like to learn tricks from YouTube and in person. I also learned that credibility matters to skaters who learn tricks because they can teach better. I hope that this video helped you understand how skaters learn tricks and deepen your understanding of the skateboarding community as a whole.